In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to use the Dutching software. So we're currently logged into our Plus subscription. So it's going to be the Plus version of the software. And the main differences between the Plus and the Pro version are going to be the number of markets that are available. So with the Pro version, you're going to get extra markets, in particular player disposal markets, and therefore you're going to get quite a bit more value as you're going to get a lot more options and a lot more bets. But even on the Plus version, you can already see here in the profit and SNR columns, there's still quite a good few bets. So there's certainly a lot of value here as well, but it's just not going to be as much as the Pro version. So just to show you that now, we'll log into our Pro subscription and just show you the differences. So we've now jumped over to our Pro subscription, and already you can see there's quite a few more options and good bets here that you can choose from. And if we go over to the market column as well, we've now got things like player points and assists, player rebounds. You can have things like player disposals in the AFL. So there's a ton more options there. If you do want to learn more about what markets are included in each subscription, I'll leave a link in the description and you can have a look there. But we'll now just take a look at how the software works. So everything's nice and laid out and easy to read, but there should be a few tips and tricks in here that will be able to help you out as well. So starting from the left, so you've got the date, the sport, league and event. Then you've got the market you want to be looking at, and then you've got the bookies that you'll be dutching between, and each side of the bet at each bookie. Next you've got the odds at each bookie, and next to that you've got little dots that will tell you when the odds was last refreshed. So anything that's orange and red, you might want to try refreshing that just to update those. So you can come up and select the refresh button up here, and now you can see you've got a lot more green and yellow values now. So the data is going to be a lot more up to date. The other option you do have is to select the auto refresh as well. So if you're leaving the software running, you can select auto refresh, and that's going to refresh the data every 30 seconds. So the next two columns, we've got the profit margin and the SNR. So these are in percentages. We did talk a little bit about those earlier. So you can see there's tons and tons of good options here, especially for your SNR bets as well. So the Dutching software is a great place to come and turn over some of your bonus bets, and it just gives you a few different options. And once you have placed a bet or you're not interested in a particular bet, you've got this last column here, which is hide, and you just select across there and that will hide the bet. And if you've done that by mistake or you want to look at the bet again, you just come up to here and select unhide all, and that's going to bring all your bets back to normal. So once you do find a bet you want to place, you would select that row. So this top one here, obviously the profit margin is huge, so we'd never advise taking a profit this large. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can already see the calculator comes up with a warning. And if you click on this little link here, it will give you a little bit more info, so you can learn about that there. So we'll go down to one of these other bets down here. So we'll take this one. So you've got Heat versus Hawks, and you've got player points and assists. So once you select that bet, it's going to bring up the calculator, and you've just got the outcome, bookmaker, odds, stake, liability, return and profit. And if you're turning over an SNR bet as well, you'd select the SNR value here, and that's just going to change everything accordingly. And when you first log into the Dutching software, your stake result format might be selected at normal. So if we select normal, you can see it's equaled out the profit margins, but it's also giving you some unusual stakes. So if you was to bet a stake like this at the bookie, you're just going to stand out again for all the wrong reasons. So if you select the rounded mode on the calculator, it's going to keep those nice and rounded to the nearest 5. And you do have the option of changing the stake manually as well. So you can use these arrows, or you can just type in your stake manually. You can do the same thing with the odds as well. So once you go into the bookie, if the odds have changed, you can just change those manually. And in the next columns here, you've got the bookmaker. And if you select the drop down box, it's only going to be really Bet365 for this particular bet that's offering good odds. If we come down to this one, you can see how many different options you've got there for the under part of this bet. So if you want to change that, you just select it, and that's just going to change automatically for you. So that's pretty much it for the calculator. So I'm currently working on a larger desktop screen, so everything fits really nicely onto the screen, and I can see everything really nice and clearly. But if you're working on a smaller screen, you can come up to the column section up here, and once you select columns, you can get rid of things, say like the date, sport, league, or whatever you want. And then when we come back out, it's just going to make it a lot easier to read. And then you've also got the option of dragging any of these columns and making them smaller or larger, and just basically customizing the software to suit your eye. And if you want to go back to normal, you'll just come up and select reset column widths, and that's just going to put everything back to normal. We do have the option of compact mode as well, so that's going to work really well on a tablet or mobile phone. So if we select compact mode, it's now brought all your bets down the left hand side here. So you've still got your profit value over on the left, and then you've got your SNR value over on the right. And if you want to sort by, say, the best SNR, you come up to the sort settings up here, select the sort field, then you can select SNR, and that will bring all the best SNR values to the top. And then the same thing applies here. Once you find a bet that you're interested in, you'll just select that bet, and it's going to bring up the calculator over on the right over here, and that's just going to be your normal calculator, and underneath that calculator you've got all the next best options that are available. We'll come back into normal mode again, and the next thing to really talk about will be the filters. So we do have a bunch of preset filters. So if you come up to manage filter models, you've got all these different presets here. So if we selected high SNR, you've got lots of different options to turn over your bonus bets. You can come and select another one. So if you're interested in, say, major soccer leagues, you can select that. And it's just going to change it automatically for you. So that's really nice and quick. We'll go back to the SNR value. So you can start from scratch, or you can build off of one of the preset models. But now we can select filters over here. So the current filter is SNR greater than 70%. But we can add whatever we want to this. So we could add a date, and then we could put is within, let's say, the next 3 days, and it's going to filter all those bets for you. You do also have the option of selecting and or. So if you just want part of the criteria to be met or all of it, you have that option. And again, you can make these as complex or as simple as you want. So if you wanted to add another filter, and then this time we'll go for a bookmaker, and you've got all these different operators here. So you've got key bookie, available bookies, SNR bookies. So for instance, we could select SNR bookie. So if we was looking to turn over some bonus bets at, let's say, Bet365, we'll type that in, select Bet365. And if we come out the calculator this time, you're going to have a ton of good options to turn over your bonuses at Bet365. And once you're happy with your filter, you can just come up and select the filter mode. And if you're updating a current filter, you just select update current. Or if you wanted to create a new one, you'll just type in whatever you want. So we could call this Bet365 SNR. And then you just go save as new. And the other really good option we've got down here as well is the quick filter. So this is really handy. So if you're just looking for, let's say, bets at Sportsbet, you can type in Sportsbet, and that's going to give you all the different available markets at Sportsbet. But you can do this with pretty much anything. So if you're just looking for NBA matches, you type in NBA, and now you've got all the different markets at NBA. So that's another really handy option. And that's pretty much it. So it is really nice and simple to use. There's a bit more info at the top here as well. So there's a few different posts and a little bit more info on the software if you're interested in that. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.